Welcome to Little Creek Bee Ranch again. Schrodinger's cat. Ever heard of that? Schrodinger's cat. We're down here in the Catchbox nursery filming again because I want to see some bees, but I want to do some lessons. So I just posted like 10 or 12 videos yesterday, and the one that got like really huge hits was the one I did down here. It was over an hour long. I was kind of like baffled, like, oh, wow, okay. Well, I want to come down and film again anyway, but we're going to make some lessons, create some lessons, teach, right? Schrodinger's cat. Hold on. Let me zoom in. I want you to watch. I have a box turtle to my left over here about 5 yards in the grass. If you see box turtles in your apiary, leave them alone. Those are your cleaners. Those are your natural hoovers, your dead bee eaters. They come and clean up the dead crickets and the bugs that are on the ground around the hives. And that's what they're doing. So if you see box turtles around, leave them alone. Okay, so I have my chair this time, my metal folding chair, and I'm just going to sit down here next to the camera, and we're going to watch these two colonies. We'll watch some others, and I'll move a spot. But I try to pay attention to the demographics and the analytics on the videos to see what people are really interested in and liking. I never know. I teach what I think is important, and it will vary. But I love this for a number of reasons. It's very quiet, nice and cool. What's the day? Let's do date and time. Date and time. May 16, 5 p.m. May 16, 2023, 5 p.m. Kind of cool. I don't know, low 70s. Nice. Rain fronts have moved through the other day. Nice. So I'm going to sit here with you, and we're just going to focus on these two for a little bit. Schrodinger's cat. What's the principle? If you ever watch Big Bang Theory, I love Big Bang Theory. Let me get my thoughts together. Leonard and Sheldon would talk about Schrodinger's cat. Like, what? Well, there's a cat inside the box. Well, how do you know that? Well, somebody said there was. Let's see if I can do this justice. But we don't know if there's a cat in the box unless we open it. But it could be a dead cat. But you would have to open it. Oh, God. You open it and find a dead cat. That's disgusting. But we don't know if it's a dead cat. So we have to assume it's a live cat. But we don't know that either. But if I open it up and it's a live cat, it's going to jump in my face and bite me and claw me up. Boy, man, it's like 6 of one, half does the other. Schrodinger's cat. That's what we have here when we talk about catch boxes. Now, a lot of people don't care. Just rip open the lid and find out. Well, there's a reason why we don't. And it's not because they're gonna eat me. No, that's not why. They're gonna sting me. No. Way back, this is when I started beekeeping, 2005. It must have been 2006 or 7, somewhere in there. caught a couple of swarms in catch boxes. I was so excited. And then go back the next day and open the top and like, oh yeah, cool, man, I got some bees. And all I did was open the top and look in. Ah, cool. And go back next week and they're gone. Like, oh, that sucked. I was not happy with that. There's a bee coming and going. Let's watch. I got lots of lessons here, man. Excuse me, I gotta blow my nose, sorry. So, Schrodinger's cat. Very much the paradox here. If I open these up too soon, there's a possibility they can take off. And why do they do that? Because the bees have a privacy principle. They want it private and quiet. Okay, fair enough. But how come the other ones I open don't just leave? Well, they will if you open them too frequently. It's called absconding. Everybody gets up and goes. You violate that principle, that privacy principle. And the biggest thing I see as a beekeeping coach and teacher, and I've taught, oh man, I don't know, hundreds, lots of people. The one thing they can't seem to grasp, and it's really not hard, is that bees have a set of rules. I call them principles. Things they do, things they don't like, and they're not negotiable. This is how they live. This is what they do. All these principles, the things that they do, the things that they like, the things that they don't like, the things that they reject. Bee principles. We've even written an ebook about it because I thought it was important to teach and get out. There's about 50. I think the ebook has 45. There's probably 50 to maybe even more is all that I could think of over the period of writing the book. But man, once you learn principles and stay in the boundary of the principles, like, oh, this is easy. No kidding. You start to violate all the rules and you're going to have troubles and problems. Schrodinger's cat. Okay, back to the lesson. So what makes them leave then? Well, you're violating privacy. So let's say we have a big established colony. They got brood in it. But the beekeeper's opening up the top and looking in like every 2 or 3 days. Got to see the bees. I got to see the bees. Boy, now we put the bees in a pickle because they're so tightly bound to the brood. That's their top commitment. Bees have a sense of priority. Number 1 is brood sensitivity. Number 2, queen sensitivity. Number 3, honey sensitivity. Excuse me, pollen's getting to me now. Schrodinger's cat. A big colony, you get up and leave if you keep doing that. They don't want to because they're committed to the brood. So the beekeeper is likely going to have this habit of violating privacy over a period of time, maybe a month, maybe 3 weeks. Excuse me. They open up every 2 or 3 days or twice a week or something. That's way too much. We've always taught minimum 3-week intervals, and I get hot and dry in July and August, and I'll go to every 5 weeks. With bees, less is more. Schrodinger's cat. So here we go. Watch. So I just established with you big colonies can abscond too if you push it. If you open, because they initially don't want to leave. They're like, oh, they don't like this opening, but they're committed to their brood. That's their number 1 sensitivity. So the first thing that the big colony does is slow down working. If you keep it up, they slow down working. And then you're going, gosh, they're not building anything. Well, that's because of you. It's not them, it's you. Schrodinger's cat. What? Hang tough with me here. Walk with me on this journey. So the little colonies. Well, what about the little colonies? How come they left me early on? Like, I just opened them, that's all I did. Well, they didn't have any brood down. See? They didn't have any eggs and larvae laid in yet. Not enough to hold them. So how long does it take for a worker to hatch? 21 days. 21 days, 3 weeks. That's a principle. They didn't ask you for your opinion. 21 days. Once 21 days you've hit with a catch box, they've got enough brood in there to lock them down. And then you can open them gently and look in on them. But that doesn't mean you're going to open them the next day and the next day and 3 times a week. You're not going to be doing that crap. Excuse me. You're not. You're going to lose bees if you do. Schrodinger's cat. So how do I know what's inside without violating these principles? You mean I got to wait 3 weeks? Well, at least 2. I prefer to wait my 3. There's no rush. This is what, May 16th? I may open these the beginning of June. At least the ones that I am watching travel back and forth. Schrodinger's cat. So now you're in a pickle, because if you're watching this video, maybe you're not a part of our regular teaching, or you're not in the personal advisor program, which I would highly, highly strongly recommend you consider doing. Not for the money, for me, that's not the deal. $29.95 a month. I don't think anybody's going to get wealthy over that. But to help you, man, to help you, this is the struggle people are having, is they're violating bee principles left and right, and they're struggling in beekeeping, it's not working. And after 2 or 3 years of that, they go, boy, this is really hard. This is expensive. Yeah, when you do that stuff, it is. And they're out. And so the nation does see a high turnover of beekeepers. Mainly, the biggest thrust of that is lack of knowledge. And that really stinks, because it can be corrected. We're just not teaching. Schrodinger's cat. I'm gonna burn this into your brain. So again, the big colonies, you can make them abscond by opening them up too much. They typically won't do it the first time out. But if you continue that pattern of opening, we call these bee addicts. They can't get enough. They got to look in again and again and again. I'm going to bring my friends over and show them again and again. And they get really, really annoyed with that, and then they stop working. They slow way down. They're not building anything. And you do it again. They go, all right, that's enough of this. And they'll suck up a whole bunch of honey, and everybody leaves, queen and everybody. And they vacate the brood. They leave the brood behind. Boy, that stinks. But note, they don't leave immediately, because they're tied tight to their brood. But in the catch boxes here, if they're new, like just to say I caught them a couple of days ago, when I go ripping off the lid, they're leaving. They got nothing to bind them there. They got nothing to lock them down on. And you probably know friends or seen videos of guys and gals doing this, and maybe some will stay, but I don't want any getting up and leaving. Zero tolerance, man. Zero tolerance. That's a beekeeper mistake, and that can be avoided. Ooh, man. Schrodinger's cat. So how do I know on these small ones what's going on inside without violating this? And that's what you're looking at right now. And that's why you get a seat, a chair, whatever. I'm probably 6 yards out in front of this group here. And there's not enough bees that are annoyed and in my face, and they don't typically like you sitting out front if it's a big group, but they're focused on their business. Schrodinger's cat. So to not violate the principles here in Schrodinger's cat, I'm going to leave them closed, and I'm going to watch. So we set the box with the potential cat inside down on the ground, and we listen. Do we hear a meow? Do we hear a scratch? Anything? Well, for the bees, the cool thing is we can watch them come in and out. Not only that, we can learn flight attitude at the porch. Remember last video I mentioned a little booklet on Amazon called At the Hive Entrance. Yep, it's probably $7 or $8. Should have already got it. Required reading. At least have it on hand. You can refer to it. Because you're going to see some weird stuff bees do and you go, okay, what the heck is that? At the hive entrance. I'm watching another couple of colonies that have activity. That's cool. But I like this set right here. Now something I've noticed here, we're dealing with Schrodinger's cat here. The box on the right has the colony in it. But the box on the left has got some kind of curiosity to them, because I see them come out and go over and check the hole on the box on the left. Now the boxes look similar. The flooring is similar. The holes are similar. So they're like, are they confused? Like, am I in the right house? But the bricks up top are different. Different arrangement and different colors. So they'll cue on that. They'll cue on that. And to the right of the little colony that's on the right, I have a little bush or a little tree. That also becomes a marker for them. I see bees coming and going on another one. It's kind of cool. I wasn't sure if they'd be traveling. It's so cool outside. They seem to be traveling okay. Let's see, chair back a little bit. Schrodinger's cat. Leonard and Sheldon. Oh, I love it, man. It's so funny. It's great stuff. Get where I can see. Okay, so watch this. Check this out. You're looking at these boxes and going, okay, this is boring. Well, you want to see action. See some action. Okay, watch. If I go to a big colony and there's just lots and lots of bees coming and going most of the day on the porch, lots of bees, that's too much. You go, what? It's backwards. It's backwards than you think, man. So if you have a big colony that's just got action, just like, oh my gosh, on the porch all day, you're going, yeah. And the next day you find this swarm hanging on a tree next door. You go, what the heck? Well, you can get too much action on the porch, which is an indicator of a high population inside. Oh, did you catch it? Did you catch it? Lots of action on the porch most of the day will indicate there's a high population inside. Better to bust those girls back and set them back. Now, if you want to wait for them to swarm, and maybe the colony is set up in such a way that a little bush or a tree is in front of them about 10 yards, or maybe you set a Russian sign in front, okay, cool. As long as you know that. As long as you know that. Swarming is healthy. What? See, I always teach. When I'm teaching class and I say these same things in class, I just see all these puppy dog looks. You know, their head kind of turns and their eyes kind of wrinkle up. And they go, what? It's okay. It's all right, man. Swarming is good. We don't want bees to get away. That's bad. We don't like that. But every year, I seem to donate a couple of swarms to Mother Nature, willingly or not. Oh my gosh. So in a big colony, the porch is heavy with action. Most of the day, you go, whoa. Okay, get ready, because they're not going to tolerate that tight population. Even if you give them a box on top, that's not going to deter them. Excuse me. If they're set on swarming, they're going to do it. My point is, read the porch. You may look at that and go, you know, I remember this old guy saying this. All this action, and in one day or a week it may go quiet, really quiet, and you go, what the heck? And it may go quiet for maybe even a couple of weeks. And you go, oh, well, that's all cool. No. Again, backwards. That means they're going passive. They go into an attitude of passiveness. We're not going out there and working all this nectar. We're leaving. Why am I going to go work all that nectar? I don't want to miss the ride. I'm not going to miss the ride. So they tend to stay home. They tend to stay home. At the porch. At the porch. At the hive entrance. I just can't tell you how important it is. So whatever it takes for you to get a lawn chair. Now I wouldn't be drinking Dr. Pepper next to them. You'll be sharing your Dr. Pepper with the bees. And I wouldn't have an evening toddy next to them either. They'll be stinging your lips. They don't like alcohol smells. So careful with maybe water. My water might be all right. And just try to take, if you can take 30 minutes to an hour, that'd be cool too. Maybe 10 minutes, whatever you want. But the reason I stress these films, not to just show you that you can catch bees on the ground, but to get you in the mindset and mode of your answers lie at the porch. And it's going to take you some time. It's going to take some months and several seasons. That's okay. That's what it takes. But I'm stressing it. As a coach and teacher, I'm stressing it. And see, they're like quiet. The ones in front of you, like, are there any bees in there? Schrodinger's cat. I mean, when they come out, it's like, well, there was bees in there. But the one to the left, the far left pair over here has got action stuff. That's okay. Just hang with me on this journey. So you're learning how to read bees on the porch. So you can gain some understanding of what might be going on inside. All right. I'm looking at a bee to my far left, and she's floating left and right and left and right and left and right. And what she's doing is she's memorizing what the front of her house looks like. Left and right, left and right. When you have a new hatch, let's say you have a new hatch, and they've aged, maybe they're, 10 days old. It won't be very long before they come out to fly, but they're not going to take off to the field. It doesn't work that way. They come out and turn around to face the front of the box, and they float and hover and practice using their wings like, hey, Mom, look at me. Look at what I can do. Up and down. I go left and right and up and down. And they're facing the box. You'll have a cloud of them. You'll see a cloud of them. And you go, what the heck is that, man? That's a new hatch. The girls are facing the box, and they're kind of going left and right and up and down, kind of a group or a cloud of them, small cloud of them. And they're memorizing what their house looks like, and they're learning how to get back up on the porch safely. Just think if you're a bee, and you're coming in for a landing, but you misjudge and you miss the porch and go under it. Boom, down you go. Oh, that would suck. Boom, down you go, man. That would kind of hurt. You want to get that landing right, Notice too, when bees come into a porch with a pretty good zip, they typically have pollen. Pollen's kind of light. Zip. And it becomes kind of hard to count, well, how many, in a 10-minute period, how many bees do I see coming back? Well, they're fast. So you just have to quickly look at colors. Just watch for the colors to go by. But when bees come back with nectar, they're butt heavy because they have a honey sac in the back of the abdomen, and it's heavy. And so they'll kind of come in abdomen low, butt low. They may even skip their foot. They sometimes will skip and turn over. You see them bump and skip and flip over, and they just go into a panic mode to get right side up. I mean, you can have a hee-haw just watching the porch of the bees like, what the heck was that? But she didn't land right and bumped herself and got flipped over. Now she's got to sling her wings and legs to get herself back right and figure out what happened and go inside. It is funny, man. It's funny. So just note the difference that when bees come back with nectar, they're typically butt heavy, and they don't go as fast. They kind of bounce. But if they have pollen on them, they're pretty quick. That's why watching pollen. If I said to you, okay, I want a timer, and I'm gonna time you for 15 minutes, start, ready, go, and stand right next to the hive and count how many bees come back with pollen. It's kind of tough. You just kind of see colors zip by unless they hang outside. Schrodinger's cat. So when I see bees come in this state, this right here, catch boxes, when I see bees come back with pollen, tells me there's a laying queen inside. Why? Because the eggs and larvae need protein. Pollen is the protein to build out the larva to a pupa. The pollen coming in tells me I have a laying queen. Aha. See that? Schrodinger's cat. All without opening the box, man. All without opening the box. Hope you're writing this down. You ought to be writing bullet points. If you haven't already, you might want to be writing bullet points. And if I lost you on something, you can always text me or call me or whatever. The contact information is on the face page of the website, littlecreekbeeranch.com, down at the bottom. That's cool. You can find it there. All right, here's another one. So you come out about 1 o'clock and there's just a mass of bees like going crazy, man. Left and right and zipping around in circles and loops and loops and loops. And there's a mass of bees on the face of the box or on the side, like jumping and wiggling. You go, what the heck is that? The field bees are returning back, and when they get really excited, they don't often go inside and dance. They'll dance on the face of the box or the side of the box. They just want to communicate the message. So they're not going to wait. They're going to boom. They hit the face, and if there's some sisters out there to get the message, they're going to dance. Now they may crawl down and go inside, true, but don't just assume that they're going to do their waggle dance inside. You'll see it on the face of the box and the side of the box. Ah, see there? Schrodinger's cat. You're going to get real tired of this after a while. There's a reason. Hang tough. Great stuff. I love it, man. All right. I got another one coming. Here we go. Oh, you can learn a ton just by watching the porch. At the hive entrance. I'm waiting. All right. So you come out about 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is dance time, return time. Between 12 and 2, 1 o'clock seems to be a key time. And you see bees go, they leave the box just like in a blaze of glory. Boom! And they kind of do 1, 2 loops, and they're headed off in different directions. Loop once, twice, and boom. Well, they got the language of the dance inside, because in a waggle dance, you can go on YouTube and look up waggle dance and study. There's all kinds of videos about what you should see in a waggle dance. But the bees do a little bit of trigonometry, and they pinpoint the angle of the sun, where the sun is, where the food source is in regards to the sun, and where their house is. And they can communicate that in the strength of their vibrations and the length of their vibrations and the direction that they vibrate. Ooh, yeah. See, pretty heady stuff. And when the girls get that message, they can't wait to get out of the box. They do 1 loop, 2 loop, and out they go. Okay, you'll see bees go off in different directions. Different directions. Now, why is that important? Because you got different bees in there giving different messages. And you see girls zipping off to the north, zipping off to the southeast, zipping off to the west, southwest, northeast, different directions, all these different directions. That's cool. That's what we want to see, all right? But let's say another time you come out at 1 o'clock, very key time of day, and all of a sudden you see kind of bees kind of floating in the air or kind of swirling, and a lot of noise. Loud. It's loud. 550 hertz. Loud. You'll hear it with your ears. Our ears can hear that level. Loud. Like, what is that, man? That's a swarm. Loud, man. They beat their wings really hard, man. And they're trying to get that queen up and out of the box and spread her pheromone in a little given area, about 10 feet in diameter in the air, kind of in a cone. And when you see that, you really ought to have a metal bowl and a metal spoon in the apiary, something you don't care about getting rusted and dirty or bent, whatever. Like the big, what do you call the bigger stainless steel salad bowls? That's perfect. It's a parabola. and grab that baby and get that metal spoon and just give a thump, 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 that kind of rhythm, and point that parabola, that bowl, at that swarm. And just stand there, keep drumming it, drum it until the swarm gathers up somewhere and comes down. And keep drumming. Don't speed up, just keep drumming until they settle down. That's not an old folks' tale, old wives' tale. That's a true thing. We've drummed bees down, I don't know how many times, 5, 6, I can't remember. I lost count, actually. You'll be working in your apiary and all of a sudden you'll see a swarm come by, and maybe your swarm or some other swarm. Well, you better understand drumming, because you can capitalize on a swarm right then, or they're headed off to parts unknown. They see you standing in the apiary. They don't want to come around you. They want to go off somewhere. If you understand the principle of drumming, you can drum them down. Excuse me. That goes back, that's old school beekeeping, back to the 20s and 30s, 40s. Particularly in World War II, when a lot of the men were away at war, it left the wives at home with kids and all the farm work and housework and ranch work and garden work and bee work. So bees were super, super important. And the ladies would use a bowl and a spoon, and the first housewife on top of a swarm, they'd wrap that bowl, and that'd let everybody know, oh, nope, I've already got it, I'm on top of it. And they would use the principle of drumming to bring the bees down. See that? All this old skill stuff needs to come back because it's so sound. Very good. At the hive entrance, Schrodinger's cat. So if you don't want to see lots and lots and lots of action at the porch, what do you want to see? Fairly quiet, except in a particular part of the day, about 1 to 2. You may have some field return time about 10 in the morning, 10 or 11. And if I see field returns about 10 or 11, that tells me they're finding like tons of stuff in the field. They can't wait to get back. They won't wait. They'll come right back. Okay, well, what's that about? All right, so I'm going to answer it this way. Do all bees return every night? Schrodinger's cat. See, it's this mystery, man, a paradox. Do all bees return home every night? No, 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 it's not efficient. So what's the limitation on the life of the bee? What's the limitation of their life? Their wings wear out. And they know it. Once the edges of their wings wear out, they're dead. They're done. About 30 days. They last about 30 days in the summer, spring and summer. So if I'm on the road as a bee and I hadn't found any ample resources and the weather's pretty good, I'm not coming back. I can eat on the road. I can stop at McDonald's and get a small burger and I can keep on going. So they'll eat on the road, little nectar, little pollen, but they're looking for a resource like a field of clover. Oh, when they find a field of clover, they're coming back home, because now they have a reason to come back home, and then they'll call their sisters, rally up their sisters, and recruit their sisters to go back out to the field. Schrodinger's cat. Yeah, how do I know that, man? See, I think 2 or 3 different times I've been in the apiary when a big, gnarly, black-green storm front's getting ready to come through. And it's out there. It's not raining, but thunder's kind of popping. And you look out there and go, oh, this is going to be nasty. And all of a sudden, like a switch was thrown, thousands upon thousands of bees show up in the apiary. I mean, they're as high as 20 feet, and they're swirling in a cloud and diving into their different boxes, just like all of them at one time in the field said, nope, time to go home. The first time you see that, you go, what the heck is this? That first time. The second time I understood. The third time was like, hey, this is cool, man. But it dawns on you, well, if bees return home every night, wouldn't we see that kind of action in the apiary every evening? Right? Right? Schrodinger's cat. No, we don't. We don't see that kind of action every night because the weather's good a lot of times. Yeah, they can die on the road out there. That's true. They can. But they don't have the weatherman, Travis Myers, or any of the other weather people to tell them, hey, there's a storm front coming. Barometric pressure, they can see, they can tell, light changes, they can tell all that stuff. And just like, they're like the mind of the Borg, man, on Star Trek. They all have one like mind, and boom, here they all come back. I hope you get to see this, because the first time you see it will just absolutely just freak you out, smooth out, man. The first time it did me, I thought it was like swarming in reverse. Like, what is going on, man? No, they're just all returning home. Like 3 times. I've seen that 3 times. Huh. Okay. I learned something. But when you've been doing this for as long as I've 18, 19 years or something, boy, you learn a ton, man. It's different than you think, man. You need to learn. Here's my strong statement. You need to solve the riddle of Schrodinger's cat without opening the box. Ooh, that's good. I like that, man. You need to solve the riddle of Schrodinger's cat without opening the box. So if there's actually, we have a cardboard box and maybe there's a cat in there. So we listen. Maybe we thump the box and listen for a meow or a hiss or a scratch. But we don't hear anything. Nothing, hear nothing. Like, geez, man, but if I shake it, my gosh, if I shake the box, I'm gonna have a wild mad cat. Man, I don't do that. In bees, now watch this. In bees, without opening the box, Schrodinger's cat, we can get a little toy called a spy ear. You should be looking for them on eBay. They're anywhere from $7 to $12. Little kid's toy called a spy ear. And it's got a little earbud cord on it. It's a kid's toy, and it's highly sensitive, and you can stick that under the bottom board or in the opening of the porch, and you can thump the side, and you'll hear the hiss report of the bees. You'll hear the hiss report. Sss, sss, real fast, just like that, up and down, up and down. That's one way. That's one way. Or if you want to go high-tech and more advanced beekeeping, you can purchase the Apivox Smart Monitor app. It's only $40. You can learn more about that on our website. I don't make any money from you buying the app. I teach it. I teach how to use it and the various strategies that you can employ to use it. Very cool, very worth your time, and I encourage you to do it. LittleCreekBeeRanch.com, and go down to the acoustic beekeeping page, and the sister page to that one is Making the Connection, and you can read those two together, study those 2 pages together. And the app is on my Android tablet, and it's synced to my earbud, my little earpiece earbud, Bluetooth earbud. And I slip it in the porch, and I stand behind the hive, and I take an acoustic reading. What? Hang tough with me. Schrodinger's cat, man. I'm helping you solve mysteries here. Yes, bees buzz, vibrate constantly. They never stop. Constantly. They get quiet, they go really loud, depending upon the message, depending upon what they're doing, depending upon the message that they're trying to convey. Whatever event in their life inside the house is going on. All right, so let's move. Let's go to another one. Hope you're learning, man. Schrodinger's cat. That's the best analogy I can give you what this is really like. Solving the mystery without getting all freaked out. But you gotta open the box. No, you don't. Well, I gotta see bees. No, you don't. You need to learn. Oh, I see right there. That's cool. Come on. Oh, right there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm watching somebody else. Watch him get busy. Yep. Cool. Maybe the next filming, maybe we'll do a big colony. Get you used to watching the porches. It's a quiet day. It's cooler. So these little colonies are going to tuck up tight to keep their warmth. Another side tip, when you're doing this, you're focused on the boxes here. Take a moment when you're stretching or moving to look around you, like I'm gonna walk behind a cedar tree. And you may very well catch a swarm coming in. Like they're not into the box yet, but they know the apiary's here. They're not stupid. They're very smart. And they're hanging up. Back here. They're hanging up and they're trying to determine which one they're going to take. So don't always assume they just come straight to the box. They like to come around the periphery of the area, hang up, and they'll send scout bees. Okay, go check out that stuff there, man. Yeah, very cool. I know I have at least 2 that have filled. Last night I was down, and it looked like they had filled 3 more. I need to get some more boxes. I want to do some double mediums, full-size double medium catch boxes. Those are great. Those are great. Schrodinger's cat. Uh-huh. Well, man, here I sat down, I'm looking to my left, and the pair to my far left has got action. Wow, cool. Like that. Man. Now, one day, you're going to see a lot of films down here because there's so many great lessons. I'm going to come down here. It may be a couple of weeks still. And I'll have my jacket on, and I'm going to open some of these lids to see what I have. May do some Apivox tests. Yeah, look at that, man. Boy. Looking at action, man. Come on, give us some action, girls. Okay. I'm gonna move you again. Man, all right. Okay, this is a good test. Here we go. All right, I want you to watch these 2 boxes. Sorry. Oh, they're kind of. All right, let me. Let's see if I can get a little closer here. I want you to learn, man. Yeah. We're watching these 2. They were just to my left. And they were coming in and out. Okay, here we go. Schrodinger's cat. So how? Okay, to the left. See that bee go in there? See that? Now that to me tells me, hey, I own this place. Because scout bees, when scout bees are working a potential offering or catch box, they're on all 4 sides. They're curious. The side, the front, the back, underneath, the top, all the sides. 6 sides, front, back, sides, top, bottom, the whole thing. But once bees take a house, the only really panel or side they're interested in is the front. That's where they're like, whatever, I've already made my decision. I got nothing else to worry about. And that's what I see in these 2. now the one we left has gotten action. That's great stuff, man. But both of these right here have bees that have come in and out just like that. Like it's an ownership attitude. I'm walking out on my porch and I'm going back inside. I own the house. So you'll have guard bees. Guard bees don't always just stand on the porch. I'm standing on the porch. They can be on the frame to the inside of the porch. They're near the entrance. Maybe you can't see them. Maybe they're on. See that one to the left? Now look at her to the front. See, she looks at the front and she's gone. Where did she go? She's gone, man. hear them fly behind my head. Nope. Okay. There goes one by me. This is a great stress reducer. You just can't bring any kind of beer or toddies or anything like that down here. I wouldn't do that. No sodas, just some water. At the hive entrance. Schrodinger's cat. Yeah, quiet. Man. Yeah, the boxes got the same kind of action, man. Yeah. So, as much as I teach, you'll have, okay, here she is on the right. I see her between the frames. Look at that. I think there's a colony in the one on the right. I'd be confident with that. There she is. That's a guard bee. She's hanging by the edge of the frames near the opening. You'll go through some of these experiences. It's like a riddle. Back to Schrodinger's cat again. What happened? I opened them and came back the next week and they're gone. Remember what I said? There she is checking it out. Oh, the hole. She's sniffing the hole. She's on the porch. Back in. There's another one. 2 of them. Oh, going to the others. Oh, what is that, man? Okay, something's up with that. Okay, so I had 2 bees on the right, and one of them went to the left. Okay, so check this out. You may have, okay, there she is on the right. You may have some bees confused. They're new to this area, and they're looking at these boxes going, these look pretty similar. Look at the tape, the foil tape on the front face of the hole. And the boxes are shaped really similar, and the bricks are the same color, different shapes, but the same color. And the box on the right has a limb pedestal on it. The one on the left doesn't. So I don't have very good distinguishing marks on them. She's looking. She's looking. She's looking, memorizing her face of her porch. I could take a stencil, and I wouldn't necessarily want to do it with the bees in it. I could take a black magic marker and just color a 2-inch square, maybe a 2-inch circle, 2-inch triangle on the face of the box. That's pretty simple. See how she comes out? She's looking at the face on the right. She came out, she's looking at the face up and down, kind of went in a clockwise circle. Here she goes again. Did it again. Looking at the brick, and she goes over to the left side. Okay, real curious, real weird. Maybe I don't, man. Maybe they're just like inspecting, checking it out. Don't know, man. It looks like to me, the action I've seen, the one on the right's got the colony in it. And the one on the left, they may be just getting some tidbits. Piece of wax. Maybe there's some pollen. I try not to put, we don't want to put any food items in the catch boxes. No sugar water, no candy, no pollen pellets, no honey, no. All that does is draw foragers and raiders. We don't want that. So we want some older frames with comb that have been sprayed with Zentari. We want some foundation, some tab frames, a mixture of all that. Okay, here she comes out on the left and right, back in. 2 of them. What the heck, man? Huh. Could be inspecting, going back home to try to convince her sisters, you got to come look at this. There's a book. I haven't read it yet. I really need to get it and read it, called Bee Democracy. Well, you can find it on Amazon. Very good. I think it's probably a worthy read. I hear a lot of seasoned beekeepers talk about it. Ooh, I see in the far back catch boxes in the far back action. This is good, man. This is something else too. This is great bee weather. See, last May this time it was like torrential toad strangling rains, and our rain fronts have been spaced out really great. So this is like nirvana. This is perfect. Not terribly hot. Not terribly hot, excuse me. Nice, wet, damp weather. Not too wet. Boy, this is working for the bees. It'll be lots of swarm action. This is when you want to really push the catch boxes. Too many times, some of the newer beekeepers get real timid. Oh, I set my 2 boxes out. And maybe that's all they have right now. I understand. Minimum 6. Work your way to 6, whether you cut them and make them, or buy them and make them, or old stuff and repair it, whatever. And set them out. Minimum 6. You'll hear me in the other videos comment about overkill. We don't want to go 60, 70 catch boxes. That's ridiculous. There's people I know who are married, working jobs, 2 kids, got 60 colonies on the ground, and they got 70 catch boxes, and they just want the honey. And when fall time gets here, they can't work them, they can't keep them, take care of them in the winter, and they just let the bees die. That's called burning bees, burning through bees. I don't agree with that at all. I'm vehemently opposed to that. That's stupid. At least if you can't care for them and they're bigger colonies in the fall time, sell them off. Give them away, for that matter. Some people need bees. But to just go out there and exploit this principle. So I'm only doing this because I want my hive counts up. I think I'm at 5 or 6 right now. And I'd like to get to 10 or 12 solid, big size colonies. And so this is the area. This catch box nursery down here in the back is kind of my area. Got room to set up, and I don't want to make it too hard. I want it to be fun. And if I've had enough, like, okay, I got enough to work, just bring them in. Break them down and bring them in. Turn it on, turn it off. That's what it's meant to be, man. But what I find is I'm always amazed. First of all, people don't believe you can catch bees like this because they're new at beekeeping and they don't understand. I understand that, right? I understand that. But when I'm teaching, we teach sustainable beekeeping, and it's done a certain way. All the methodologies and the things we teach, they're just done for a reason, done a certain way. So when I start teaching about putting catch boxes on the ground, and if the new beekeeper's been to a bee club or around friends, they will say, "No, I was told you got to put it 20 feet in the air." And I'm not making fun of them. Don't think that. It's just, as soon as I can get them turned around, get their thinking improved, break down their paradigms a little bit. This is why I make so many films. One of the reasons. Because there's some mental blocks that people have about bees and what they'll do and what they won't do. What they can do for you. And when they see some films on it, they go, "Phew, Eureka, look what I found." Good for you. You found something too. That's cool. I mean, I like people coming into beekeeping and thinking, "Oh, I can do that?" Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And this is why we teach so differently. Because so many people out there being twisted and manipulated and bamboozled and lied to and garbage just in the name of money. And like, oh my God. Love bees. They don't lie. They work by principles. And if you don't learn the principles and if you don't honor the principles, you're going to have a real hard time. It'd be very stressful and frustrating. I don't want that. This is why we do what we do, man. Zoom classes, ebooks, YouTube videos, coaching program. Well, I remember I had one particular person who the great person, not criticizing them, they were overwhelmed. They were in the program, they were crying. And they called me and said, "I can't do all this. All you want me is to read this and watch this and attend these classes." I was like, no, that's not what we're doing here. Everybody learns differently. I think most people would agree with that. Everybody learns differently. We're still watching some bees. Everybody learns differently. Some people like to read. Cool, man. Got that. Some people like to watch videos. Cool, man. We got that. Some people love Zoom classes. Cool, we got that. Some people like to have a private personal coach. Cool, we got that too. Right? Some people love newsletters. Cool, got that too. It's up to you when you come to us and you're learning from us and following us. It's up to you how you want to cobble that together. There's some things that I'll have a strong recommendation you do because I know it's good for you. But there's some things that say it's up to you. You know, this area over here is up to you. Okay, here's an example. So several years back, boy, it's just the Lord put on my heart to write ebooks, and haven't written another one in a while. It just kind of went dead. It was eight. It was just cranked out 8 ebooks, man. Up early in the morning, writing for the first half of the day, just flowing like a river. Like what? It's like watching your fingers on the keyboard, going, "Where is this coming from?" It's not me, man. Came out with 8 ebooks. Each one of them are $40, and they're all on very important subjects and titles. You can go to the ebook library on the website and look at them. My point is, you can pick them up if you want to. It's up to you. It's good stuff, good content. But what I saw a lot of my students and members do is they'll buy them. That's just an investment in their education. They'll buy them. They pay 40 a piece, and they'll print them out, and then they'll put them in a binder in slicks, and it becomes their sustainable beekeeping manual. Now, I never mandated anybody print that out. Now, they're allowed to print it out for their own use, not to resell, but for their own use, so have copyright ownership. So if you're doing that, that's cool. You can print it out for yourself and put them in slicks if you want to, or just punch holes in it and put it in a 3-ring binder. And now you have your own sustainable beekeeping manual. And the members of students that come to class, I see these books on the table, go, "What are we doing here? What's up with the big books?" And they go, "This is all the stuff you've written, and your newsletters too." They go, "Oh, holy cow, let me see that." I'm a digital guy. I'm a digital guy, man. I never mandated they print that out. And I saw what they were doing. They tabbed out sections and titles and had highlights and notes. I said, "Okay, why are we doing this?" Well, it's too much to remember. I can't remember all this. Highlighting and circles and recipes and notes. I go, "Oh, that's cool. I like that idea, man. I want to tell people about that. That's cool." See, there's an avenue. And I have a lot of members come back for classes multiple times over to solidify a particular principle or grasp a subject. They want to come back to class again too. And yes, we charge them twice over. But they're gaining something. They're investing time, effort, money, energy into learning beekeeping. That's what it takes. That's just what it takes. And they've got their books with them, and they got more information and more newsletters. Like, what? We're missing the bees. They're all on the right side over here. Sustainable Beekeeping Manual. Schrodinger's cat. What's inside? Don't know, man. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. Let's go over to the right. These girls. They're like, "What is this guy doing?" Schrodinger's cat, man. Let's see. Can you see? Like, ooh. Hey. When you're on film, bees moving on film, hard to see. I can see them easy enough when you're live, but on film's kind of hard. On the right side. Okay, I'm sitting to the right of the camera. I know there's a colony in the one on the right. What I don't know is the one on the left generates a lot of interest. See, they go in that one. See that bee? I don't know. It may not be anything on the left one. But there's a colony right there. I also notice this nuke box on the right has a solid bottom all the way to the back. If you notice on some of the other ones, they have a cut back on the bottom for screen, for venting, and I've taped over some of them. Tapes come off some of them to make it dark. Now the double set to the far right over here, double mediums, they're dark and they're set on top of a fiberglass sheet, so they're dark. So bees, swarms do like it dark. They want it dark. Just remember that. They want it dark. Yep. Look at that. Schrodinger's cat. That's what this is like. At some point you got to open, I know that. But I've learned to slow down Sometimes the students and members, they get really excited. We want to pull these 2 frames, and we're going to notch and crush, and then we're going to pick them up, take them home, set them down. We're going to check on them tomorrow morning, and then we're going to check on them next Monday, see how they're doing, see if they pull that queen. We're going to check on them next. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You make your notches and crushes, and then you set them up, and you leave them, and you check on them in 5 weeks. Yep. Okay, so here's another one. Schrodinger's cat. Watch this. Oh, here okay. Here I'm going to give you. This is good. Same thought. Hadn't changed my thinking. Same thought. Just let me think about it. I want you to go to this homework assignment. mdasplitter.com. mdasplitter.com. Mother Delta Alpha. mdasplitter.com. That's Mel Dislicoan apiaries up north. I can't remember what state he's in, man. And I learned the strategy of notching and crushing to get the bees to pull out queen cells. Take your blade of your hive tool, which is 7 cells wide, line it up in the middle of the cells, left to right, in the middle of the cells on some eggs, and push inwards and down really sharp, about 20 to 30 degree angle, all the way to mid-rib. Don't poke a hole in the foundation, but go almost all the way to mid-rib and just kind of pull downward. You'll sacrifice what's underneath the blade of the tool, but that will then change the shape of the cells that the eggs are laid in. And the girls will pick 1 or 2 of those and will pull them downwards, whereas they would never focus on that area because of the shape of the cell. That tells me bees read holes. Bees read shape of the wax. That tells them, hey, you can do this, you can't do this. So typically we'll see natural swarm cells along the lower edge of the frame, like a big smiley face on the lower edge of the frame. This is typically where we see the rim or the edge of the cell turned downward naturally. Next time you have a brood frame in your hand that's pretty fresh, not terribly old, but kind of fresh, maybe a year or 2 old, look at the lower edge of the comb in a big smiley face, like from 8 o'clock all the way around to the right to about 4 o'clock. That outer edge, and look at those cells that are curved kind of downwards. Those are the areas where they'll pull down swarm cells. That's a principle. They didn't ask you. They don't care about your opinion or my opinion. This is what they do. So if you capitalize upon that, take your hive tool, find a row of eggs, cells of eggs, and then you want to create some queens. Take your hive tool, lay it in the middle like you're just going to divide the cells halfway across, like left to right. And push your hive tool downwards, kind of push flat down and pull off, and you'll change the shape of the cells. So your hive tool is almost parallel with the frame, the comb, almost parallel, not perpendicular, but almost parallel, and you just push inwards and pull downwards. Those are called notches or doing crushing. Okay, now what's that got to? Now watch. Follow with me. Go with me on this journey. Schrodinger's cat, man. Many times people come to me and said, oh, that doesn't work. That theory of yours doesn't work. I just laugh. It works every time. Every time. Well, I did that, and that fixed it all back. They fixed that notches back. They didn't pull down 1 queen cell. I said, great. What's that mean? Well, it didn't work. Your theory's wrong. Oh, there she is. I said, nope, think it through. Well, they fixed them back, and I'll push on them. I said, think. Stop telling me your opinion and think. They'll go quiet for a minute. Did I miss a queen? I said, yeah, you carried a queen over. You thought you looked really good when you pulled your frame split, but it's easy to miss a queen. If the bees have a queen, why are they going to make a queen cell? They just fixed the notches back. It worked. You got a queen. And they scratch their head and go, It's okay. It's a learning experience. But I love to see the lights come on. Just see the lights come on. So let's say you don't have a queen there for sure, and they'll pull out, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 queen cells, whatever they want to do. Then people will say to me, well, those aren't as good as queens. Those are emergency queens. They aren't as good. I just laugh again. I said, tell me, when have bees decided the difference between queens? Bees make queens, period. That's all they know. Bees make queens. The only difference that we have is when they make a supersedure queen. That's a completely different shape of cell. That's a completely different program. That's not a swarm program. Schrodinger's cat. I tell you this, the bees are the ones that are breaking down your paradigms. A supersedure cell is the shape of a peanut set sideways in the middle of the frame on a stem. They'll carve out the middle of the comb pretty deep. It'll look like a divot on a golfing green, big old divot, boom, a divot. And they'll put a stem in the middle of it and put a big cell, and it's be sideways. It's so big they got to put it sideways. It'll look just like a peanut. And when you see that, you can't touch it. It's very, very tender set up on that stem, and you need to put it right back. Take a picture of it. If you take a picture of it and send it to me, I'll send you a Texas Roadhouse gift card or something, because they're very rare to find. You get on Google and look for pictures under supersedure cells, and all I see is swarm cells. And people they've never seen this because it's rather rare. So you really have to kind of bump into this supersedure cell. Well, what does that mean? What are they doing there? Well, they're just doing a 1-for-1 swap. That's all. They don't like the old queen there for whatever reason. Her legs are crooked or her wings are old or whatever. She's not laying, whatever. And they're going to change her out. The worker girls are in charge of the house. The queen only lays eggs and eats. That's all she does. She doesn't do anything. She just lays eggs and eats. So a supersedure cell is no different. All the girls have done is they have put all of their effort into one. That's all. They've put all their effort into one really good queen. She'll be a good queen because and that cell will be beefy too, man. It'll be big. Don't touch it. It'll fall off the stem and you're done for. Supersedure cell. Still, bees make queens. Bees don't distinguish between emergency queens, swarm queens, super cells. Bees make queens. That's it. Bees make queens. So when you know how to manipulate bees and how they understand cells, how the bees read cells and what they do, oh man, now we have changed the game here now. Yes, yes. Because in beekeeping, you're going to be in the apiaries and you're going to run across problems with your colonies, and you're going, now what do I do? I don't know. It depends on how much you know. What's your skill set like? How much do you know? You got to think on your feet because you're going to be solving problems in the apiary. Schrodinger's cat. See, this is why I love this stuff, because it's like Alice in Wonderland. Things are not as they seem. Yeah, no kidding, man. That's for sure. That's the one thing I'd say to you after all these years of doing this. It's addictive. I will be, as long as I can live, I'll be keeping bees. It's just like, it's just mind-numbing, mesmerizing. Like, this is not anything like I thought. I thought I'd get stung and die and scream and run in blood in emergency rooms. Like, no, 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 no. One day is almost like that, but no, no, no. Oh my, Schrodinger's cat, man. What's inside? I mean, this is what drives people nuts. Well, just open the freaking box. No, I'm not. Because I could ruin it. You could ruin a good thing, man. At least these two that I'm watching. The one on the right here, and there's another pair on the far right. I know, see, that was early May, so I'm halfway through. Maybe later next week, I'll smoke them and open them. All I want to do is smoke them and open them. I don't really want to pull any frames because I'll be pulling out some new wax. I just want to see, hey, there's a colony of bees in there. Great, wonderful, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, heaven's sakes, man. Okay, are you getting the idea? I gotta go. I gotta shut it down. I could do some more. We will come down here and film more. These are great lessons. There's going to be so many Schrodinger cat videos. You have no idea, man. My head's full of them. What's inside, man? Oh, gosh. Darn, I want some more catch boxes out. When the weather's this nice, it's overcast cloud. You look behind here, I'll do this one. Check this out. Here, I'm gonna pull it back. Yeah. And I'm gonna roll it up. Come on, Kendall. Come on, there it is. Look at the green. green. Ooh, see this area of the land that you're looking at is the knoll. Out there where that brush pile is, left and right, it's kind of the high point of the knoll. That's usually brown dry. We have a high water table. Oh, it's all green. Stuff is blooming. The honeysuckle and privet. Oh, man. Ooh. Yeah, this is bee paradise right now, man. I hope it stays like this. Yeah, I hope it stays like this. Hard colonies like these have a really, really hard time staying cool. Everything's good right now. My concern is we don't want a repeat of last year. We don't want to see June go to 105 and stay there. Oh, man, that really stinks. So we want to keep it cool. Okay, I gotta go. Gotta wrap it up. Man, I hope this is good for you. I hope you're learning lessons and taking notes, at least bullet points, and all my goofiness and the way I teach. Well, I like to laugh. Man, you got to be lighthearted. Time is short. Time is short. You know, we're passing through this life. You know that, right? We don't control anything. The Lord's gifted us bees, and I'm a steward. I'm taking care of His stuff. That's all I'm doing. Trying to be the best steward I can be. Bees on the left over here again. That's good stuff. Okay, so if you stumbled along our video here and you were curious enough to keep watching, cool. I'm glad you hung with us. I'm glad you're staying to the end. Because now I'm going to challenge you to go look at littlecreekbeeranch.com. Look at the personal advisor program if you want to learn from us long term. And read the bullet points there. It's too many for me to go over. We get a lot of stuff. We pack in a lot of value in the teaching program. It's up to you. How hungry are you? You wanna solve this Schrodinger cat thing? You better learn. Yes, sir, buddy. You better learn. And your friend down the road who's been doing this for 6 months, no, he ain't gonna teach you anything. They're gonna get you screwed up. A professional full-time program, paced at your pace. It's all there. We loaded it with value on purpose. Go look at another page called Our Uniqueness. Those are bullet points, things that we're known for nationally. And I'm not trying to be popular. I don't want to be popular. It's just the way that we approach things people like, okay? Because I line my thinking and strategies up with the bees. How the bees work, what the bees will do, what they won't do, how they do, why they do. What you got to learn, see, those are bee principles. What you got to learn is protocols. Along with the principles, you got to learn protocols. That's the beekeeping part, protocols. What to do, when to do, why to do, how to do. Those are protocols. Yeah, see there? Facebook site, Little Creek Bee Ranch. If you're in the advisory program, we also have a personal advisor private group on Facebook you can plug into. Very cool. Lots of ways to learn from us and what we do. The acoustic beekeeping page and making the connection. That's awesome. All right, got the idea, man? Schrodinger's cat. It's gonna drive you bananas, man. You'll see more videos down here. Looking in some of these. Getting ready to make changes and putting some more catch boxes out. Yeah, a lot more coming. All right. Gotta go. Hope you had an awesome time. Hope you learned a ton. If you got questions, you can text us or write us, whatever. All the contact information is on the face page of the website, littlecreekbeeranch.com. Cheers.